Hello everyone, and today we're back into another top 5 video, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 mixed attackers in all of Loomian Legacy. So these are Loomians that have great attack on both sides. They have great attack on the melee side and on the range side. So with that out of the way, let's see who makes the top 5 mixed attackers list. So number 5 onto this list is going to be Vesperatu. Now, people might be shocked that Vesperatu is on the list, but this thing actually has a very surprising good ranged attack of 82. It also has 110 melee attack, and it's usually used as a melee version, but in the past, this thing used to run Airblade, and it's used to run Airblade because it was the only move in its move pool to hit to clips. Besides Gnaw, but who in the world would use Gnaw when it does 40 melee attack? So, Airblade was the only move that could hit the clips. Not to mention that since it actually had a decent ranged attack, it would actually hit it decently hard. Airblade can also hit those pesky bug types. You can hit Garbantus, you can hit Swolder, which was really common at the time. So, Vesperatu had a lot going for it with Airblade, so it made it a very good mixed attacker. You can even run a pure ranged Vesperatu, and it will do very well for you. The reason why Vesperatu is number 5 on the list and not higher, it's because ever since it has Slash, no one ever runs the range Vesperatu anymore, because now Slash can actually hit to clips now, and it can not only just hit the clips, it can actually hit Cephalops as well, which makes Slash just a better option, but still, it can still be used as a mixed attacker, and that's why it's in the top 5. Number 4 onto this list is going to be Billow Forge. Of course Billow Forge is going to make the list somewhere. I mean, this thing has great melee and ranged attack. It has 112 attack on both sides, while having amazing coverage on both sides. I mean, you have Fire Toxic offense with Tyrex coverage. You know how good Tyrex's offensive typing is? Well, add that on top of Fire and Toxic type. Yeah. Billow Forge can hit pretty much anything in the game, which makes it very scary. It also has really good melee bulk and a solid health stat, making it so it could soak a decent amount of hits. The only flaws this thing has is that it is quad weak to Earth, and a lot of Loomians do have Earth-type moves, but the even bigger weakness is its low speed stat. It only has 24 speed, so yeah, when you have 24 speed, you're not going to be able to use that offensive pressure as much, considering that you're always going to get hit first. You can technically use it as a Bane of Haste user, and it might be one of the best Bane of Haste Loomians in the game. I have to try Billow Forge with Bane of Haste. So I would recommend, if you want a more offensive version, I would run Charklin. But yeah, Billow Forge is definitely a very good mix attacker, and if it wasn't for its low speed stat, it would easily make the top 3 on the list, but it definitely deserves number 4. Number 3 onto this list is going to be Wendolyn. Yes, Vesperatu is the better Loomian compared to Wendolyn. There's no doubt about it. But as a mixed attacker, Wendolyn is way better. Not only that it has more melee and ranged attack, but it also has a faster speed stat. Wendolyn also has better coverage than Vesperatu. It has Frost Beam, which is 90 power range. And since you don't have to invest in your ranged attack as much, you could just run 3 melee moves and a range move for Frostbeam. Because the thing is, a lot of the Loomians that you need to hit with Frostbeam are, air types and bug types, which your other moves can't really hit. So if you have Frostbeam, you can hit Garbantus quad effectively. You can hit Whippledrift. You can hit all the Gargoyle forms. It's a great coverage move for Wendolyn, and since it has 93 range attack, you don't have to even increase the range attack as much in order to one-shot the Loomians, which are quad weak to ice. You can also hit Tyrannox as well, but there's also Mega Chomp as well, so it's a hit or miss. So yeah, you could run a mixed Wendolyn and it would do work, but just like in the past, you can even run a ranged Wendolyn, you can run a full melee one. There's a lot of ways you can actually run Wendolyn, but as a mixed form, Wendolyn is very good and has some decent coverage, and that's why it deserves number 3 on this list. Number 2 onto this list is going to be a shocker because it's actually going to be Metatod. We all know that Metatod has good attack on both sides. It's around the 90s range on both sides, but no one ever thinks about it because it only usually runs one move, Specialization 1 move. But if you run the melee Metatod and run Cycle Slap, Thunder Punch, or Electro Punch, you have a melee attack move and a ranged attack move at the same time, while only increasing your melee attack, which is insane. It's because Cycle Slap has a special ability where it hits the range side of their defense while using your melee attack. So you can increase your melee defense, run Cycle Slap and Thunder Punch, and you're going to do a ton of damage on both sides. You can even just run a melee and range move at the same time as a Watcher Amulet Toad. You can run Tase, you can run Slap Down, you can run Mega Punch. There's a lot of options you can run on Metatod, and when you run Specialization, Metatod can hit so hard. Yes, even Quick Pounce on a Specialization Metatod can deal supreme damage. That's insane to think about. Quick Pounce, which has 40 power. With that out of the way, though, there is one Loomian which is better than Metatod. It's a mixed attacker, and it's not even close. The best mixed attacker in all of Loomian Legacy is Gargoyle Attack Form. It has the highest melee and ranged attack in the entire game, while having amazing coverage. Yes, it can hit on both sides. It even has a higher speed stat than Wendolyn, and its coverage is fantastic. If you run this with Gale Force, this thing can sweep teams easily. This is one of the best late game sweepers in the entire game just because of its good coverage and the fact that once you KO a Loomian, you get a master boost, meaning that you can snowball extra damage on top of each other. And while this thing is super frail, since you're so fast, you're not going to get hit most of the time, and that's what makes Gargoyle Attack Form so good. You can run a melee version, you can run a range version, you can run moves on both sides. You can run Primal Slash, but run the rest as range to have Sidragon. You can run all range, but have one melee move. There's a lot of different ways you can run Gargoyle Attack Form. And that's why Gargoyle Attack Form is the best mixed attacker in all of Loomian Legacy. Not to mention, it has the highest melee attack out of any Loomian in the entire game, and the highest range attack out of any Loomian in the entire game. It's the best of both worlds. If you have the best attack on both sides compared to any Loomian in the game, you deserve to be the #1 best mixed attacker in all of Loomian Legacy. Especially when you combine that with its decent defensive typing and really good coverage. There's no contest. Gargoyle Attack Form is the best mixed attacker in the entire game. And here it is. Gargoyle Attack Form, the best mixed attacker in all of Loomian Legacy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there are some other mixed attacking Loomians that I missed for the list, tell me in the comments below. That'll be the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I'll see y'all all later. Bye-bye!